Here today with Matt Landers, the head football coach for the Lubbock Roosevelt Eagles. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing excellent. Appreciate you getting us on this morning and talking to you.
Yeah. So one of the things we're trying to do in these interviews is illustrate the different ways coaches wind up where they are. So if you don't mind, take us through your path, how you when you made the decision to coach and your path along the route.
Okay, yeah. So I grew up in the Metroplex. Actually, went to LB Bell High School. Never really dreamed about coaching, but played football there. Obviously, loved football. Then I went to college at Howard Payne, and I started coaching there really at Howard Payne. That's kind of where I started loving coaching and wanted to get into coaching and kind of see what it's all about. And so I just student coached there when I was at Howard Payne, and then I had a unique opportunity to go to West Texas A&M at WT and be a graduate assistant coach there for 2 years after I graduated from Howard Payne. And that's kind of where I really fell in love with it. Uh, Coach Carthel and those guys took me under their wing, and I learned so much, not just about football, but about life, about how to run a program, about everything. So really grateful for those guys. Then after that, when I graduated there, I got my first high school coaching job at Brady High School. I was there for 2 years with Coach Howard, Andy Howard. And he took a chance on a young guy just out of graduate school, and I wanted to coach some high school football. And then I met my wife, and she was already up here going to Tech. And Coach John Contrusi got a job here at Lubbock Roosevelt in 2014. Called me up and had a coaching spot open. I was just a linebackers coach at the time. So 14, I moved up here. Me and my wife got married. And then after 2 years of being a position coach, I was defense coordinator for him. And then when Coach Contrusi left, Coach Miller got the athletic director job up here. And then I was fortunate enough, he took a chance on a young guy, never had a head coaching job before. And we were 0-10 at that time. And usually people don't promote within when you're 0-10. But Coach Miller took a shot on me and promoted me within. And so I got my head football job 4 years ago here. And then the rest is still history, still being made, I guess. So been here 8 years. 4 is the head football coach here. So my wife and I, we love it here. Great little community out here. If no one's really ever been to Roosevelt, there's not much out here, obviously, but Idlewild and Slayton right in between them. And so, but we're 15 minutes east of Lubbock, so we can get to Lubbock anytime we want. Enjoy Texas Tech games, and my kids love watching those. So, but that's kind of my path. Not a very exciting one, I guess, but I consider myself pretty fortunate we're able to be here as long as we have been.
Now you mentioned some of the coaches that inspired you as you went along the way, and that's one of the roles you're in now is that of mentoring uh, the coaches that work with you. Talk a little bit about the role of mentoring um, from your perspective.
Yeah, being a coach is a huge responsibility, I think, and I think every day I pray I don't take it for granted. I think it's a huge responsibility on my end too that I've been blessed with. That God's put me in a place where I got these young men that are trying to grow up, trying to venture off, trying to figure out life on their own as well. And of course, as a coach, I'm a competitor and I love to win and I want to win. And that if not, then I shouldn't be coaching. Obviously, it's one of the keys. But more importantly, every day I got to remind myself too is that, man, we're here for a bigger picture in life. And so I think what a big part about mentoring these kids, one thing that we try to teach here in our program that I try to teach these kids is to be selfless servants. I think being selfless is something that trait in our world is kind of missing sometimes. Now with social media and everybody's like, look at me, look at me. And so I try to teach our kids here at Roosevelt, it's not about you. And I think that's one reason I love the flex bone offense. We run that offense is because it teaches kids to do a job and not get any credit, not get any glory from the outside. We got there will be games where, I mean, we had a great quarterback this year, an amazing player, a 2,000-yard rusher. I'm going to tell you right now, there were 5 games where he only had probably 40 yards rushing, and he never said a word about it, never complained. He was more happy that we won the game. But that's just part of the offense. You know, people are going to take away certain parts of our offense, but there's going to be parts that are wide open, whether it's the pitch diver or quarterback. But going back to mentoring, that's what I try to mentor our kids do. You know, we talk about a brotherhood here, and one of our big keys, our kids know this and they memorize it, and they not just memorize it, but I want to make sure they hear it in their hearts that don't ask why, but ask where. The brotherhood doesn't ask why, but it asks where. And I want to mentor them so when they become husbands and fathers one day, that they don't ask their wives and kids, why do I have to do that? But where? Where can I help you? Where can I help my wife? Where can I help my kids? Where can I serve them? Where? And that's what this program's all about here is, we got kids that played offensive line that would have been great tight ends, probably great running backs, great other positions. But you know what? I need them in offensive line. Our receivers, we threw 16 total passes last year, only completed 8 of them. So if you play receiver for us, you're not catching a ball. But you know what? Our kids bought into that mentality of, where does the program need me? Well, they need me at receiver. So I'm going to go block for my brothers. I'd rather block for my brothers and carry the ball. And so I'm trying to mentor these kids. And our whole coaching staff is to be selfless servants and not to ask why, but ask where. Well, where can I serve you? Where can I help this team? And where can I help others? And we just pray that carries on in life as they graduate here and continue on.
Now, 4 years ago, as you mentioned, you went 0-10.
Yeah.
And then last year, a little bit better, 14-1.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit better. Talk a little bit about, especially in a small community like that, what the success, it doesn't have to be the football team, it could be the women's basketball team, but the success of the athletic programs mean to a small community.
Oh, it's huge. First of all, we have a great school board and a great superintendent, Dallas Grimes. Our school board's awesome. They want our kids to have the best facilities and be successful in athletics as best as we can. Just this past summer, we put in a brand new turf football field, game field for our kids. We spent tons of money. Got 2 years ago, our school board wanted to buy brand new weights. We got full racks, names on the weights, logo on the benches. We have a huge arena that they put in about 8 years ago. A huge field house with a media room, a film room, stadium seating. You don't see that very often, I think, at our size school. And so our school board and superintendent want our kids to be as successful and have the best chance to compete as we can. A couple years ago, I think before I got the job about 5 years ago, our girls went to the regional finals in basketball. And so just seeing the way that our community came together to support them was huge. And that was good for our boys because, they wanted to see that too. And so this year, making that deep run, it was very evident. We got to go play at Jones AT&T Stadium against Abernathy in the regional finals game. And there was probably about 20,000 people there. And it wasn't just Roosevelt. I mean, it was the Lubbock community too. Us and Lubbock Cooper, the only two still playing at that time. And just how the town of Lubbock supports high school football is just amazing. I'm going to talk about that real fast. It's just, they want to see West Texas succeed. They want to see West Texas be one of the best, and I think that's a big responsibility on our end too, because I want to support and I want to be able to represent West Texas and our program represent West Texas the best that it can, and be able to go deep as we can. I know all the schools out here do that, and so just amazing community support around that. And of course, our community on Roosevelt, like I said, when we played Abernathy here at our house, it was probably about 3,000 people in our stadium, probably hold about 1,500. So there was standing room only, but our fans showed out, our parents, our community. We got a lot of letters. It was pretty amazing how big of an impact that these kids make. And I try to made a point of it every single day that this is bigger than football to our kids and kind of impact that they're making, just of alumni writing us letters and alumni coming back, alumni coming to the games and saying, man, you reunited a community that's been apart for a long time. We hadn't won a district championship here since 1986 until this year, and 50 something years of football that Roosevelt's had. These kids went to the regional, won the region, went to the state semifinals, which never happened. Best record that never happened. And these kids won only 4th district title. And so these kids right here accomplished something far greater than football. And I think that will just be ingrained in this community forever. And then obviously now everybody's fired up about football, which is fun, obviously. And we love that. And so, like I said, we can't wait for Friday nights to happen again and get here as soon as it possibly can.
All right. Well, congratulations, Coach. You had a great season. Okay, now do it again. So,
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's all right.
You've seen your kids out in the spring sports. How are they developing? What do you think it look like for 2022?
Yeah, man, I'm definitely a coach, and we're definitely a program. Athletic director Jim Miller does a great job, and all of our coaches support. We're not a program that's like you have to play football and only concentrate on that, only play basketball. We want our kids to play as many sports as they can. Our quarterback next year plays football, basketball, baseball. runs track. I mean, our quarterback this past year played football, state powerlifter, played third base in baseball, and ran and made the area qualifiers in the 100-meter dash. You know, we want our kids playing as many sports as they can. I mean, they're athletes. It's 3A, and for us to compete at all the sports and be successful at every sport, we have to be able to do that. So, but evaluating our kids, obviously, I mean, we lost a lot of seniors. We lost 15 seniors, and they're a great class of seniors. They set the bar really high, and I'm very grateful for them to do that. And that's good. We needed to set that bar high for our younger kids and understand, hey, this is the expectation now we have, and let's go achieve it. You know, let's don't be scared of it. Let's go attack it. And so what I usually tell everybody is we're not going to be young. We'll have a bunch of seniors and juniors actually playing for us. We don't have any sophomores. We have one sophomore on varsity. He'll be our quarterback next year. He played JV for us last year as a freshman. He did a really good job for us. But what I love about what we do is we have a system. You know, we run the flex bone. We're triple option. We got 8 plays. I ran 8 plays last year. It's all we have. We have the philosophy of we're better, kind of arrogant, I guess, but I hate saying that. But our philosophy and our kids buy it. We're better at running our offense than they are defending us. You know, that's kind of our mentality that we have. Obviously, there's some times we have to adjust, and that's part of football. But our kids have bought in that mentality, and that's what I love about it. So, you know, we just we're kind of doing some spring ball stuff during the period right now, and we're able to call 8 plays. It's not looking as good, obviously, as last year with losing those seniors, but still, I'm able to call those plays and we're able to run them. You know, there's not a lot of teaching involved. It's just, hey, run our inside veer, and man, we run it. You know, and we'll get the technique down, and we get better as the year goes on. And so, we'll just kind of be kind of inexperienced at first on Friday nights. You know, we have a lot of guys that haven't seen Friday night experience yet, but you know, our JV went 7-3, which is very good for us. And those young kids are all freshmen, really, except for a couple of them. And so, you know, we just standards high. They're hungry for winning. They're hungry for another gold ball, and hungry to unite this community again. And so, like I said, we're fired up, ready to go and run some triple option. It's just kind of what we love to do here. It's our identity now.
Now, one more question for you before I let you go, Coach. Tell me one thing about Matt Landers that most people don't know.
One thing about it people don't know. Well, you gave a good one. And so I guess I used to work at Bahama Bucks when I was in college, and so made snow cones. I guess a lot of people don't know that about me. And that's about the funniest thing I can think of. I'm pretty low-key guy, I guess.
What was your favorite?
Just don't ask my wife that question. Don't ask my wife that question. How about that? So.
What was your favorite flavor?
Oh man, my favorite flavor. I like the watermelon. I think I would go in there every day when I wasn't working and just grab one of those in college. But once again, I was a poor college kid, so I would take anything free half the time, you know. So go in there and make smoothies every now and then. But it was fun, you know, trying to make some money and coach at the same time. It was worth it. So.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks very much for your time today, and best of luck in the 2022 season.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you talking to me this morning. It was fun.